Kevin's here, everyone. We're going to have a chat with him. He is the writer, the creator, the artist of the last Einherjar. I've been practicing that.
It says it properly, yeah.
Yes. It did help that he put a pronunciation in the back of issue 2. So I was like, yes, awesome.
Was it issue 2? I put it.
I think so.
I thought I left it to issue 3. I've got issue 2 and 3 here. I almost sold out issue 1. So.
Let's see. Yep, in the back of issue 2, and that, that page there. Yeah, so thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, because I can imagine you've had a lot of people pronouncing the title in quite a few different ways.
Yeah, it's like, how do you say that? Like, Einherjar. Like, break it down, and it's a silent, and it's a soft J.
Yeah.
Okay, Einherjar. Like, you're close, but no.
But yes, thank you for joining us, and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. We met you, Liam and I. We met you at Birmingham MCM in November last year, and you were selling this book and the 2 other issues that you'd sold as well, that you'd created at the time, and I think it both really jumped out at me and Liam because of how we are both really big fans of like Nordic mythology kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was brilliant, and you were very kind to sign our copies as well. So issue 1 was an oversized coloured copy.
Yep.
And then issues 2 and 3 were standard size and black and white inside. And I'll start off just by saying they're a blast to read.
Thank you. Thank
really
you very
good.
much.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Oh,
But before we go any further, do you want to tell us and everyone watching a little bit about yourself?
About myself? Yes. So I'm a struggling freelance illustrator, and I like to create my own comics. And like most people who enjoy comics and stuff, I've always wanted to be a comic book artist since I was a kid, and just want to carry on. And I just want to make comics, and I'd love to be at a professional level. But I'm enjoying putting out my own books as well at the same time. It's getting me on the ladder. It's caught some attention from you guys, and that's kind of me generally. Just an artist, just a struggling poor artist. Give me money.
So
that's why I'm on this podcast. I'm just here to ask people for money.
And that's it. And we're here to help you get that money. Do you just want to give us your bank details now, and we'll just bypass
sure.
the whole,
Hold on.
book thing? Do you want to give a quick synopsis about the story that we got so far?
Oh yeah, I probably should, shouldn't I?
Yeah, that's fine.
People will go, what's he talking about? Right, so this is the synopsis I sold Scott and Liam on.
100%.
It's Ragnarok has happened, and the 9 realms have been completely no, not the 9 realms. Earth, Asgard, and Jotunheim have been completely destroyed. The rest of the 9 realms have all merged into one realm called Endear, Heim. And the only surviving races are like dwarves and elves at the moment. Ulf, the story is about Ulf, and he is the last of the Einherjar, and they were Odin's warriors in Valhalla, and he survived the Battle of Ragnarok. And now he's kind of going around towns being like a help for hire sort of guy. He then comes across the last human. So 2 humans survive Ragnarok, and you'll meet them when you buy the books. So he helps. His job is to help the last female human, Claire, retrieve her husband from the evil Svartris. And Svartris is a guy making a play to control Endear, Heim, and he has his own malicious intent. But I'm not going to give too much away because we haven't got up to what his ultimate plan is yet. So yeah. Ooh, I'm shaking my table. There we go. And that's the last Einherjar. So it's very. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So you wrote and illustrated this book, and so you're an artist more than a writer.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd always say I'm an artist first. A lot
Yeah.
when I was creating the book. You've heard of the Marvel method for creating books. So the
No.
Marvel method was used in like the 60s, and that Stan Lee would give Jack Kirby like a plot, just a rough plot, and then Jack Kirby would kind of draw the whole story and kind of come up with the story himself.
Yeah.
And that's how I've kind of done it, but I'm both roles, so I kind of draw it out first and then go back in with like the word balloons and everything at the end. I find it easier to create that way. I'm a visual guy, so I got the scene in my head, especially for like issue 3. I got that scene in my head, and I've got to draw it, and then the words will come later.
Right. Yeah, I get that because that makes sense. Because then if you're looking at it, you can kind of put the speech into your head that way, and then I feel like it may be harder to write something down and then create images for it. I mean, there's plenty of ways to do this, isn't there?
Yeah, there's plenty of ways, but I find this way works.
Yeah.
For me at the moment, like I said, I've got the plot. A lot of it's just in my head because it's only me who has to do it.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so like issue 4, which I've been working on, I've gone back to and I've gone, oh no, that's not how the story's gonna go. Right. I'll scrap that because it hasn't gone in. I've got a scene coming up in my head, and I'm like, well, if we do that, I'm gonna have to take much longer to get to that scene, and I want to bring it forward and stuff. So that's.
So, how long did it take you to do the first 3 issues?
The first 3. So the first issue was. So I went back to uni as an older student.
Yeah.
I'm 33. I finished uni a few years ago.
Not a day over 25.
You and the lady at Morrison's agreed when she ID'd me yesterday. I was doing the book for my final major project because I was like, I've had it in my head for ages. I finally got a avenue to get it out. So I did it. I got a first. So that was good. Got a first, and then so the first issue took, because it was a college project, uni project, it took about 3-4 months to do. That was writing, drawing, colouring as well, and colouring is not my favourite thing to do, especially a whole book like that. That's a killer. And I was learning how to colour at the time because I didn't know how to draw, do anything digitally. So I was learning. My biggest, the biggest thing, the outcome I got from that book though was we had to ask other artists what they think. So I sent it off to Jock. You know Jock?
What?
Yeah, I sent it off to Jock, and you know those blue pages in there.
Yeah.
The highlight of my life has been that he goes, I love those. I love the red and that in there as well. And I'm like, Jock.
Yeah, that's brilliant, mate. That's really good.
That's amazing.
Those ones?
Those ones, yeah. I'm really proud of those ones.
The kind of like flashback scene.
Yeah. I could see, and that's another thing with reading the book. I'm very disjointed with the storytelling because I'm like, should I have the character? Should we give a bit more backstory to the character? Should we just carry on?
Yeah.
But it's only going to be a short 5-issue series.
Okay, so 2 to go.
2 to go, and so that first one was fully hand drawn and then coloured digitally.
Yeah.
Then I bought an iPad, but I drew the second issue, and this was all during quarantine, first lockdown, so I had plenty of time to do it, and that didn't take much time at all because, like I said, I was just working on it every single day. So I drew it out in pencil, scanned it in, then inked it on the iPad.
Right. And
then the third issue, that took a few more months. Yeah, but that was fully digital, and now I've gone fully digital now. So
nice. Well, like Lee and I were speaking before you came on today, and we were saying like the art is great all the way through this whole series, but it improves every single issue. And like issue 3, both of us just like we text each other and stuff. It's like this issue 3 is brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah, like it's all great, but issue 3 is definitely the best one.
Oh, I can't look at issue 1 anymore.
Really?
Is that because you've improved then, is it? And then you've gone back to your older stuff and gone. Are you looking at it as a type of thing like I would change this, I would do this differently, I wouldn't have done it that way?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's just the drawings in general. Some of it I'm looking at it now, and I've done a bit more studying of like anatomy and perspective, and I look at it and I go, oh, that don't look right. And
I think you definitely everyone is a lot more. What's the word? They criticize their own stuff a lot more than people from the outside looking in would criticize it. So, but we don't have a bad thing to say about the art. So take that.
Very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. It's it is. I do like, and that was the thing when we said at Comic-Con. Everyone was looking at it, going, "Oh, this one's in color. Oh, but this one, the art is better in it." Like, because I've had several years to. Like I said, quarantine, as bad as it was great for like artists and everyone because we could just hone our craft and everything. So that was kind of the upside of it. That I think art wise I improved a hell of a lot. So
well, it definitely shows, and I can't wait to see issue 4 and 5 as well.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Neither can I.
So you said colouring isn't your favourite thing to do. So was it always a case that after issue 1 you were going to scrap colour and go to black and white?
It was a case of that, because in college, uni, they wanted me to do it in colour because they'd be like, it'll stand which it has. But also, I print these all by myself. I pay for the printing myself. I don't Kickstart or anything because I'm no good with social media and trying to get a following. I get a following, but then there's like 30 people have seen your post. We're like, oh, so the printing costs are what made me go black and white as well because I'm like, I can't afford to print a run which is going to cost me another couple of £100 just to have colour in it. Yeah. So, and I think I work better in black and white anyway.
It looks great. It looks great in black and white.
Issue 3 like blew me away when I opened it. Like the step up between each one, it's like going on a journey with you. Like it's fantastic.
Thank you. I'm gonna print when I run my reprints. So, all right, I was like, come on a journey with me. I was gonna say I have to reprint issue 1, so issue 1 might get zhuzhed up a bit. It won't be in colour again. It will be black and white this time. But I'm thinking I want to see him like a consistency of the artwork in there. Like it looks like it's done by 3 different artists.
Yeah, definitely. So, what kind of inspired you and pushed you to do a kind of Norse mythological type story?
So I've always been interested in like Norse mythology, any mythology really. I really enjoy that. I'm a big heavy metal fan as well. Good. And so and I like power metal, so they're always singing about Vikings and stuff, and that's kind of influenced me with the storytelling. Like, oh, I know a bit about Norse mythology now, and I like that thing. I think I look like a bit like a Viking, so as well. So I was just thinking, this kind of taken from the mythology, the metal stuff. I read Thor comics. I like Thor. Yeah. So me too, I just wanted to mix those together and kind of come up with my own story. But I also wanted Ragnarok to happen now.
Right.
So that's why we got a Claire in the book. Why we got a modern day woman in the book rather than someone in the past. Because I thought Ragnarok hasn't happened yet, so we can have Ragnarok happen today, and the 2 humans that survive Ragnarok
Yeah.
will be two modern humans,
Yeah.
whereas rather
Nice.
than two
Yeah.
humans in 1,000
Yeah.
years ago.
The realms that were left and the ones that got merged into Endear Heim, where did the name Endear Heim come from? Did you make it up? Was it researched? Is it like a mythological realm or
So it was, yeah, it was made. It's made up. I
nice?
researched it. I think I looked at end in like Old Norse, and I think it came up Endear. So I was
Yeah.
like, and Heim means home.
Yeah.
So like I mixed it together. Yeah, I did my research. Like Svartris, the villain. I looked up his name and I looked up Black Ice. So that's what Svartris means.
Ooh,
Black
okay.
Ice.
That's
So
nice.
there's
That's cool.
something to do with that will be coming along.
Right.
But I've
Yeah.
got plans for him.
Great.
Big plans
Yeah.
for him. So
Like Zvatris as a character, because you first meet him in issue 2, like you hear about him in issue 1, you first see him in issue 2, and he's very nice to the male human. What's his name? Owl.
yeah.
Very nice to him, and I'm like, why are you so nice? And then in issue 3, we find out like the humans are the honorary guests, but that's all you're finding out again, and he's just being nice to them again, and I'm like, why? And then that's all we've got so far, and I'm desperate to find out why is he so nice. What does he plan to? I'm assuming he's going to do something with the humans. Like he's using them for something, and that's what I think. But yeah, that is what is definitely intriguing me the most about
I'll
the story. Is
I'll give you a little teaser.
ooh,
Yeah, I hope it's. I'm sure it's said in the book, but Claire's pregnant.
yeah,
So
Oh yeah, yeah.
maybe
Ooh.
he doesn't want them to at all. Maybe he wants something else. Or
Right.
maybe I'm just throwing you off the scent.
Well, either way, I don't care, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens. And it's just going to be, it's just going to be great.
Thank you.
Lee, what did you think of the story so far?
I love the story. Obviously, in I think it was issue 2, we get a quick glimpse of Thor.
Yeah.
Wielding the hammer. I was
Yeah.
just interested, like going back to like your research and stuff. Like, how did you come up with that design for Thor?
That was a bit more going from what I've read about Thor historically. Well, I say historically from the myths and stuff. I thought, and I don't want him to look too much like Marvel's Thor.
You don't do the Marvel method there, do you?
Yeah, no Marvel method there. I think I'll get sued.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, I just wanted him to look a bit more like
A Viking.
Viking, yeah, rather
Yeah.
than a superhero. So yeah, that's how I kind of came up with it. And you only see him for a bit, and I always liked the idea of him riding the goats, having a cart pulled by the goats. So I was like, oh, I got to draw that in there. And again, that's probably one I'd go back and redraw now if I could.
Yeah.
But I think I've gotten better at drawing goats. So.
I'm sure you don't get many opportunities to draw goats.
No, never.
Was that scene the thing with Thor then? Was that supposed to be a nod to him fighting the World Serpent?
Yeah,
Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's what that scene. So the World Serpent was when Claire and Olaf are walking up the hill. They see.
Yeah.
So they're right at the part when Ragnarok comes to Midgard.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted them to be there. The two humans in the mythology hide in a tree, and that's why they go hide in a tree, and that's why they survive it. And so, yeah, that's what I wanted to be like. They're on the front lines. Originally, I was thinking about doing it in a city. They'll be in a city, and we'd see it. And then I thought, that's too much drawing.
Too many buildings.
And I was like, I wanted to set it in like Scandinavia as well, because I thought it's Scandinavian mythology, and I thought that'd be quite cool having it set there. So
it's all cool. It's all great. they're very quick reads, and I was gutted when I finished it. Those 3 issues, the first 2 really seem like a really good introduction to all the characters, and then issue 3 seems like the proper beginning of the story. With Ulf, coming back to to say this is his fate. He's the last Einherjar for a reason, and he needs to be brought back because of this. And yeah, so now for me, I'm like, right, we're in, and issue 4 is going to be really cool, I'm hoping, and yeah, can't wait.
Thank you. Yeah, I am. He has been put on the back burner a bit at the moment, the issue, but
Yeah.
like I said, I've got the story.
Yeah,
Story's
cool.
all worked out,
Yeah.
and I just want to, well, the only person I've got to say to kick up the bum is me to get started on it. So,
Well, if you want, we can do it. We can kick you up the bum. We'll get people following you to kick you up the bum. Yeah, it's fun. We'll do that.
I was going to say, I said to a few people at Comic-Con, just harass me, harass me on Instagram, and I'll cave.
Yeah, good. That's what we're hoping for, because if you say it's going to be 5-issue series, you're going to leave us hanging for 2. That's not fair. That's not fair.
I know. I'm sorry. Really sorry.
More about you then. You said you're a comic book fan and everything. What do you like? What do you like reading? Do you collect comics? Do you like what do you gravitate to in terms of stories and stuff? What do you like?
Well, recently it's been I've been a bit. I haven't been following anything that really closely. Last series I read was Venom by Donny Cates.
Nice.
Which
okay.
I loved that series,
Yeah.
and anything by Donny Cates at the moment. So I'm reading. Actually, the
Thor?
one series I am keeping up with is I'm behind on Thor. I got up to the first 2 story arcs I read of Thor, which are really good.
Yeah, they are.
The thing is, I buy it on Comixology, so I'll buy it on Comixology,
Right.
and then it'll just sit on my iPod, and I'll forget about it. So I've been reading this series called Crossover. Have you read that?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, Crossover's good. So those are the kind of things I'm reading recently. But growing up, it was all Spider-Man, Avengers, Brian Michael Bendis, Avengers.
Yeah.
I'm a Marvel guy more than a DC,
right.
but I do love Batman as well. So
Who doesn't? Everyone loves Batman.
Yeah. And actually, the series I love the most, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, is Charles Soule's Darth Vader series that came out. That was really good. Good comic, just good comics in general. I was like, I wish they kind of stuck doing comics rather than stick to doing comics now rather than anything else.
Nice.
But yeah, that's kind of my tastes in comics. But I'll read mostly anything I've got.
Read anything.
Yeah, anything. If you hand it me, say it's good, I'll give it a go.
Okay. Yeah.
Give it a go.
So has any of that like kind of older stuff that you've read before, has that helped with the inspiration for this stuff, or have you read something in an older book and been like, I want to try and push my own stuff in this kind of direction? Or
a lot of stuff is usually art inspired rather than story inspired. So if I'll see an artist I like, so like with the Venom books, I like Ryan Stegman, the artist. I'm a big fan of his artwork, and some of the way that he draws stuff, he's kind of like a bit cartoonier but detailed at the same time. I was like, oh, I like that. And I really like actually, this is one I've been reading. I'll pick up anything from him. Is Daniel Warren Johnson, and I've seen that you guys did an interview with Mike Spicer. I was like, oh, I haven't watched that yet. I'll have to watch that.
So they did Beta Ray Bill together.
Yeah, I read that. That was brilliant. Such
a great read, and speaking to Mike Spicer was brilliant. And I've recently pre-ordered the Murder Falcon Deluxe Edition, which is out in May. Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer again. I don't know what it is. It's like everyone, you think of art and people think of like insanely clean lines and like perfect proportions and perfect detail and all this, but then you read stuff by Daniel Warren Johnson and it's just messy, crazy, but awesome to look at and really colourful, cool stuff.
his work is, and especially like Murder Falcon. Like I said,
Yeah.
heavy metal fan, so I'm reading it and
Yes.
going, oh, that's Judas Priest. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a drawing of Dio. I'm very excited over it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is the kind of anything he does. Even though I still haven't read Wonder Woman, Dead Earth. I haven't read it yet.
Right.
But
Me neither.
I need to get
on
on
your
it. But
list.
anything by him, Extremity was really good as well. I was
That's
going
on
to
my
say I
list
could
as
show
well.
you a picture that was inspired by like him and like kind of like the way I'm working now. If there's a share screen button, but
There is, but
there is.
Yeah, you can either do it now or you can send me a picture later and I can just edit it on.
I'll send you a picture later. This is for a comic that you kind of got at the back of issue 3, where I start talking about it. This comic called Colonel Deathblood that's in my head, and that's kind of inspired by Daniel Warren Johnson's work and stuff. But last Einherjar wise, it's a lot of it's like kind of just some of the artwork. I think the 3rd issue is quite manga-y because I've gone with those half tones, the little dots and stuff. So
I noticed that. I noticed the dot matrices and stuff like that as well. If you do like Daniel Warren Johnson, I read a book last week called Cosmic Ghost Rider by Marvel, written by Donny Cates, and the art in that, it isn't Daniel Warren Johnson, but it's very Daniel Warren Johnson-esque.
I do need to get on Cosmic Ghost Rider. I have
give that a go.
Again, Donny Cates. Anything by Donny Cates, I'm a big fan of. So I'll have
that's
to
a
get
really
on
good
that,
fun read. Yeah, get on that. It's really good.
So taking it back to the last Einherjar, do you have a favourite page, or favourite book or character?
Oh, hold on. I've got my books by me. I can show you.
That's two.
I got. I like that page, that spread.
Yeah,
yes.
That is a nice one.
That's one of my favourites. I'll give you a bit of backstory behind this. So, drawing it, I was having trouble coming up with the proportions, coming up with the not the proportions, the perspective. So I took a photo of, stuck an action figure on like a row of books, and I took a photo of it underneath. As the secrets of the artist, and I quite like that one. This 9-page grid. That's something I thought I do a comics drawing class for a college. I just do it as an enrichment course, and that's the page that I go. This is the one I did, and it's great for the timing. If I'm going to get nerdy about the art and do like some of the Will Eisner stuff, and start talking about the timings in comics and stuff, and like look at the panel layout. I start the story off quite fast, and then I slow it right down, and then I'm proud of my directing kind of skills on that page. But those are my favourites. What you just to stroke my ego? Have you guys got?
Yes, we do. And I'm sure Liam's got the page there to hand, but he showed me just before you arrived, Kev, and we have the same favourite page.
So that was mine.
Yeah.
I just love the different feel. Like it's obviously different. I know you said it's digital, but it's got a charcoal feel to it as opposed to like the clean lines and like comic book style you went for previously. And it just stands out and gives it such a tonal shift. Like I loved it.
Again, that was, we talk about influences. I'd say you read Hush, Batman Hush.
Not yet, no.
Not yet. So in Batman Hush, the artist Jim Lee will go back and do, when he does flashbacks, he did them in kind of like a watercolor thing, rather than the lines of. You've all seen Jim Lee artwork. Like rather than that hyper detailed what he's usually doing, he did it in kind of like a watermark series. And I thought, oh, that's good for a flashback. So that's what I wanted to do.
Right.
And again, that page needed to stand out because he's kind of deifying this guy. So
it hammers it home like how bad he potentially is. Like,
Potentially.
so good.
So far, he's a really nice guy, but
Yeah.
potentially bad. To stroke the ego a little bit more, I think this panel here was absolutely awesome. Just the kind of the size of. I think that one's. I can't remember if that one's Hugin or Mugin, but I think it's just brilliant.
It's Moonin, I think. You know what? I don't even remember. It's Moonin, yeah, because he's memory. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I love that. Just the size of him and just how intimidating that is for Ulf as well. Just really good page.
Thank you.
Yeah. I love that whole scene at the end. There is really good.
I was, again, a little bit proud of myself, and I'm like, it's just like I can write.
You know what? I am good.
I'm not too bad at this.
Yeah. Oh, so tell us about some other stuff you've got coming up then.
So we got the Dark Emissary.
Yeah.
That's kind of like I always say it's kind of like Spawn meets John Wick. I'm not the writer for that one. Again, that one's delayed because of me. It's written, but I got kind of, and I want to go back and again, I want to redraw the first issue, but and that's kind of a supernatural murder action mystery kind of thing.
Cool.
It's kind of reminds you of like a 90s or 80s film. It's kind of hard to describe because again, it's not. I'm kind of just drawing it rather than writing it. So that's my interpretation. I've got my friend is releasing a book, and actually, can I plug this?
Of course.
So a guy is called @Captain Snicked. In a few months, keep an eye on his Instagram. He's going to be putting a book called World War Dinosaur up on Kickstarter.
Ooh, okay.
It's pretty exciting, and I've done I'm doing 2 backup stories for that. I finished the last one last week, the first one last week, and I'm starting the next one this week. It should be really good. It's in the name, World War Dinosaur, so it sounds cool.
There's definitely a bunch of different things I'm thinking of there. I'm either thinking like dinosaurs wearing army uniforms, or just I don't know, like humanoid kind of dinosaurs, or just dinosaurs normal sized and shaped, just having massive fights. It could go plenty of ways, and that sounds really cool.
Yeah, and lastly, I've got something that I'm looking to put on Kickstarter and it's like it's in the back of this last issue, and it'll be artwork I send back out. Actually, I think where's my camera? So we got Colonel Deathblood. So I've been watching. I've been on like a '90s kick recently, like Cable and all that kind of Image comic stuff, like Spawn and Youngblood and stuff like that. I thought, I just want to do a like balls to the wall '90s over the top, muscles on muscles, pouches on pouches kind of comic, and I wanted to do, so I was going to do kind of like an issue 0, and it's about this guy called Colonel Deathblood, and he's been called back into action after the 90s when his team were off fighting this alien threat that's returned to Earth, and now he's got to work with like modern day superheroes.
Right.
But the first issue, the issue 0, which would be put out, is kind of like a flashback to what happened to him and his X-Force type team whilst they were fighting the aliens, and why he's kind of became a recluse. I like doing disgruntled old men as comics.
I mean, if you're good at it, stick to what you know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the. That's one I'd like. That's kind of occupying my mind a little bit too much at the minute. So, that's.
Nice. So what kind of so these other projects have been written by other people. What has attracted you to them to go? Yeah, I'll be the artist for you for that.
The Dark Emissary one. Is my martial arts teacher. So
Oh,
I've been
okay.
training with him for years and years.
Yeah.
Since I was 16. So I was like, I can't really say no. And I wanted to do a book with him anyway because I like the story, and that's what attracted me to work with a lot of these people I know anyway. Joe, who's doing the World War Dinosaur book, I've known him for years as well, and he'll pass me along some illustration jobs and that, and I've got plenty of time to work on his book because
great.
I know it's cool stuff. So
sounds really cool. So if I ever think of something, I can give you a bell. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's fine.
No, genuinely, if you do think of something, just feel free to message. I'll always turn around and go, yeah, yay or nay.
Or no, who's this?
Scott. What?
What was that?
Never heard of it. There's a picture of me and you literally right here.
I do want to ask you another question more about inspirations for the character designs and stuff, and how you came up with the Draugs and Lord's Fastest. Yeah.
Fartris.
Sorry, yeah. So did you do any research for them? Did you take bits from things you'd seen elsewhere, or was that all just from your head?
Bits and pieces, really. Svartris is kind of like a mix of the Emperor and the what they from Lord of the Rings, the Ring Wraiths.
Yeah.
And kind of like that. And again, like I said, I'm into my metal, so like the black metal bands, I don't really listen to black metal, but the face paint that they wear, and I thought again they're Norse bands, so I thought the face paint, and that's kind of where his design came from. Ulf was just kind of like just a generic. I don't want to say generic, but he is just a sort of generic kind of Viking design. I gave him the design for his costume changes from issue 1 to 2. I give him kind of like snow boots in issue 2. But yeah, that's where the design came for him, and the Drogir was like Viking zombies. I thought, that's kind of what I wanted to do. And as you see in issue 3, they're all wearing what Ulf was wearing, so we start to kind of figure out where the Drogir army come from.
Yeah, because I did kind of click with that when the Valkyrie was saying, kill your brother or something like that, And I was like, oh, okay, these are all old Einherjars. So it's really interesting, the way you're kind of weaving bits here and there into the story, and how you're just drip feeding us stuff with flashbacks from Ulf and things like that. So I'm really enjoying learning about him in little bits. I think I've got my own little personal gripe about having a backstory or a flashback as one whole issue. I'd much rather have it as little bits here and there. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm really enjoying that. So but I'm really enjoying the way you're putting all this together. It's really good.
Well, my thinking was having that flashback kind of issue, which plays into the story.
Yeah,
it was. I'll just get over and done with. Let's get over and done with. There we go. We know what his story is now.
Yeah.
So, but there's loads of story behind Svartris and Olaf as well. We told a bit of his story, but you're not quite sure why he was so invested in the Norse mythology stuff. So
that's true. Yeah, because all we know about him so far was he's just a guy who had his hand cut off.
Yeah,
that's it. But but
would you like to tell people where and how they can buy these issues?
Yeah, you can look me up at KWiz1988 on Instagram. I can see my website's running underneath as well. So if you go on to www.kwizillustrator, thor.com. There's a message board. You kind of just have to message me because I don't know how to set up a shop on my website.
Right.
So if you message me saying you're interested in the book, I'll get back to you as soon as possible, and then it will just pay through PayPal, and the books will be on the way to you.
Perfect.
Commissions are open as well, so if anyone's looking for, again, look on my Instagram, look on my website, and see the kind of art I create. And if you're interested in commissioning some art, again, message me. We'll talk prices. We'll
Great, man.
get the work done. That's
fantastic. Didn't you do a Spider-Man one recently, Miles Morales or something like that? Or
I did.
Yeah.
Homecoming.
Yes,
Not Homecoming.
did.
What's the Far From Home?
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Flipping it. I love that film so much I can't remember the title. I was saying to my partner, I said, we moved into this house this year, and I was like, I think Spider-Man was the best thing that happened in 2021. And she's like, we moved in there together. I really enjoyed that film.
Yeah,
so that was really one of the last things I did, and I'm experimenting with painting as well now.
Yeah.
So
nice.
It looked really cool because you did one of like Tom Holland on his own going through a portal, didn't you? And then you did one with all three of them.
I thought time had passed enough for spoilers.
Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, it looks brilliant. And to be honest, I may even give you a shout for a commission because it looked great. So yeah,
thank you.
Keep your eye out for me on that. How much are these books going for? How much are you selling them for?
So they're a fiver each, but if you buy all three, £12.50 and postage and packaging on top of that. Awesome. And again, like I said, I'm not sure how many issue ones I have left. I'll have to have a look and then I'll get back to you so you can put it in thing. But I need to get some more of those printed. So the more people buy them, the more money I have to get
of course.
get them printed because it all just goes back into the printing process. So that's that.
Awesome. Great. Thank you very much. This has been brilliant, Kev. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me
and having a chat with us. Again, for everyone who's interested, go ahead and find Kevin on Instagram and Twitter as well at kwiz1988, and go to his website as well to buy some books at kwizillustrator.com.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And we cannot wait for issue 4 and issue 5. Consider this an official kick up the bum.
Oh, thank you.
And we can't wait. At the end of the day, if you do them, more money, isn't it? Perfect. But thank you so much, and we will definitely speak to you again.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Kev.
you.
See ya.
See ya.